All right, so very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna warm up those ankles. Really, you just kind of wanna let it flop side to side, kind of like a dead fish, really. If you've got really tight ankles, you may notice they don't really flop very well, and you may need to just kind of take your foot and manually move it a little bit until you get some circulation going and you can go a little bit faster with it. Same thing with the other foot, just maybe 10 seconds each side. You're just loosening it up. You can do a few little circles, but really we're just kind of shaking it loose, increasing circulation and waking it up, because if it's first thing in the morning, they may be very, very tight, or if you've been sitting for a while, they could also be really tight. So wake up those ankles, very first thing that you do. 10 seconds each side. Go ahead and step back with one foot just a little bit. You're gonna put all your weight on your front foot. You're gonna pick up your toe, and on that back leg, you're just gonna do some circles. So you're pivoting around the toe, and your ankle, again, is just very loose. And we were really just trying to warm up and loosen the Achilles tendon. You're gonna do about 10 one way and about 10 the other way. Make sure that your core is tight, make sure that your chest is up straight, make sure you're not slouching, and make sure you've got your pelvis tilted, okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. All the weight on that front foot, make sure the pelvis is tilted, make sure everything is upright, and let's go around one direction. And then let's take it the other direction for about 10. All right, there you go. You're gonna go ahead and come on down, put your hands on your knees. You can see here that my back is straight. I'm pulling up tall through my vertebrae right here, so I'm not hunched down like this, and I'm not up here, okay? So you're right here, let me face you again, and you're gonna take your knees in a circle this way. So I just like to do about 10 of these. I've kind of lost count, but we're probably getting close to 10 right about there. And we're gonna go around the other way. Just circle those knees, keep everything loose, make sure the knees are the ones that are doing the work here. Now we're gonna ensure that our glutes are firing. So we're gonna warm those up a little bit by doing a squat. First of all, let me show you. Our feet are about shoulder width apart. Feet are forward or just a little bit facing out. You're gonna sit back in those heels. You're gonna go to about a 90-degree angle, and you're gonna go 1, and then you're gonna come up about 3 inches, and you're just gonna repeat that, just up and down, okay? Make sure that the weight is in your heels here, and you're just coming up maybe 3 inches, not very high at all, really putting the pressure back on your rear end, like you're reaching for a chair. Do about 10 to 15 of those, maybe a little bit more, especially if it's early in the morning, making sure we get those glutes firing. So whether you're just getting out of bed in the morning or if you've come from a seated position, it's really important to warm up the hip flexors. They tend to draw up over time, especially if we've been in this position at all. And I don't know about you, but I sleep in this position, and that's the position you're also in when you're sitting in a chair. So we want to warm up the hip flexors. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a nice wide stance. You're going to make sure that the front foot, the knee, is over the ankle. You're going to go ahead and get on this back toe, drop that knee down, take your pelvis and tilt it underneath. You can put your hands on your hips, and what we're going to do is come down and up. But what's key is to keep the pelvis tilted underneath. If you're here, not only is it going to feel awkward, you're not getting that stretch, okay? So tilt the pelvis to where you're sitting back just a little bit. Everything is up tall. Hips are square to the front, and we're going to go down and up for 10. There's 2, 3, keep that tilt, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Make sure everything looks good. We've got the knee over the ankle. We've got the back leg behind us. Everything is upright. Hips are facing forward. And here we go. Pelvis is tilted. Now here we go. Down and up. So you don't have to take that knee all the way down to the floor. You should feel that tightness with that pelvic tilt. I believe that was 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do a stretch that's going to stretch this entire core right here. So what's important is feet are about hip width apart. You want to make sure that your pelvis is facing forward and that you don't turn it. So hands go behind the head, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this elbow and I'm going to look behind me at my heel, but I don't want my hips to turn. I want to keep my hips square to the front. So you're just going to reach over, act like you're reaching down with that elbow, drive it toward the heel, and just hold that. Make sure you're breathing, make sure your core is engaged, make sure that your pelvis is level and it's not back or too far forward. You just have a little bit of a C right here in the abdomen. And now let's go to the other side and do that same thing. Drive that elbow down, drive the other one up to the ceiling. I'm looking back, I'm not twisted, hips are facing forward. Keep driving, breathe, engage the core, and done.